Prior to this, I would have sat back and not had a voice. But because of this process, I've learned that my voice in some instances is very important.
My name's Angela. I'm the program director here at the Recovery Connection in Marlborough, Massachusetts, one of 6 peer recovery engagement centers funded by the Department of Public Health.
My inclination is to say, okay, this is how we're going to do things. And that's not the participatory model, because people need to have a voice in whatever change or whatever's going to happen. And it's not so much the staff saying, this is how it should work.
The participatory process means to me that instead of the staff being in charge of the decisions that is making in the recovery center, the community is the one who is in charge.
I've tried to participate in different programs that said they were social model programs, and it never worked. In theory, it probably would have been great, but it was always the traditional authoritative staff, authoritative law set, and then a bunch of people at the bottom struggling to fit in. And I had never discovered a place that successfully used that model of us as a social being, supporting each other. I'd never seen that until I came to the Recover Project, and it happened for me right away.
When you work in a traditional agency, it's like a checklist. There are certain plans to be written and things to be signed and budgets to be made, and the week and the day and the month is pretty much the same. I may have my idea of how I think it may work, but once it comes out of the community meeting, it may take on a different life completely from where that idea first germinated.
People have a tendency, because of all the traditional programs that it was, they always have a tendency to look for you for whatever it is they need. And when you put it back on them and say, well, if that's what you want, you got to do it, then it becomes a little bit, they look back and say, oh, well, I got to do it? Yeah, you got to do it. You want to make it happen? I'll support you.
But when you have a voice in making the policies, I think that there's more of a buy-in.
Any ideas that is bring to the community, what it does after that decision is made, it goes to the advisory. Then the advisory will review that.
And the advisory board will take a look at it and see that if that can specifically fit into the schedule at the center. And then from there it will come to the staff.
I really wanted an early recovery support group where we could really have fun together, and we brought it as an idea to a staff person actually first, and what they said was take it to community meeting. It's not for us to decide. This sounds like a great idea, and it ended up being such a successful project. It was amazing. And I facilitated the group, and I had so much pride in accomplishing anything.
The inverted pyramid is the most perfect way to explain it. Me as staff, I'm on the bottom. Everything flows down from our members. The members have the decisions. They make the decisions of what they would like to see go on at the center.
People that are new to recovery are walking through the door and they're making decisions about how an organization runs. And I think that is empowering all in itself, that people new to recovery get the opportunity to do something they probably never did before, and that is participate in what goes on in their own recovery, in their own community. I think that it's a really good stepping stool to mainstream society. I believe that this bridges the gap between treatment and the real world for many people.
When the person come in, we greet them, we tell them what we're doing and how we can help in their recovery. I always say my name. I'm Celeste. I'm a recovering addict, and I'm a volunteer at the center. I'm a good listener, and anybody can come to me anytime. It's a bunch of people, different names, different colors, different nationalities, different language, and we all together there. So we do the best we can to stay, together and without incidents. And you know what? 96% of the time, it's working good.
I started here in October of 2008 as a program director, and I have a long history of administrative experience. What I didn't have experience with was a participatory model. I didn't really get that concept, and I felt like my job was to direct and to guide everybody into doing things how I was taught to do them.
Unlike a traditional nonprofit organization where staff and administration is at the top and clients are down the bottom, we have an opposite approach.
I come from a background of working construction. I ran my own business. I had people that worked for me. So coming into this process of I had to switch roles. What I have to do for myself is just remember that we're all striving for a common goal, and it may be a little more time consuming to get to where we need to be.
The first story that stands out for me was a young gentleman who came in to do a resume. Set him up on the computer, and when he finished, he came into my office because he just wanted my opinion. I looked at it and I said, "Oh, you can't do it like this. What about," and I changed the entire resume. Before long, I had his resume on my computer, retyping the entire thing. And the lesson from that was he felt deflated, he felt diminished. He'd worked really hard on that resume. So although my intentions were good and I wanted to help him, I robbed him of his own personal success.
I want to start a Spanish speaking meeting in Step Rocks because, I went to DMAC Health Center. It was a lot of non-English speakers there. They give me their numbers. Some of them I had gone to the recovery center, and they members now. So I need to speak with the peer coordinator. And she told me that she was going to find the format for me. So I'm excited about that.
I volunteer at the front desk Monday through Friday, and I love it. It's a great way to meet people, expand my network, and it's a great way to give back to what was freely given to me.
The people in recovery, they offer me a lot of comfort, and there was a lot of compassion for me. So it was easy for me to become a volunteer.
When I was 4 months sober and 4 months a volunteer member at the Recover Project, I got to go on public television with our director because she had faith in me and she saw something in me and began my recovery of confidence. We as a community really, really run the show, but without the kind of staff that we have, my life would be different.
The role of staff involves a lot of unlearning the way we think things should be. It truly is the staff's responsibility to create the energy, the atmosphere that allow people to feel safe, to know that it's okay to make a mistake, to take a risk.
You can be who you are, and we are not here to judge you. And so because that's the norm, it's become the culture. It's the climate. And that's the word on the street, that it's very safe. You already know it's safe before you walk in.
When I got to the center, I was 19 years clean and sober. After I went there, I learned so much. Recovery, if you want to, you can just walk on a recovery center and we will show you the way.
We all have our own answers. We don't have the answer. And there's more than one right answer. And I think that's the thing that we try to celebrate and remember.
I'm finding that recovery is fun. What I wasn't doing for myself, I have people that make sure that when I don't show up, they call me and they push me because they know I'm worth it.
We respect that if he talks about religion, like sometimes we hear, faith-based groups, that's one path of recovery. Motivation, that's another path of recovery. Men's groups, that's another path of recovery. We respect all that because everything that has been there is people's opinions. And we respect everybody. This is like a give and take,
I need to be patient. I need to be understanding. I need to be empathetic in this process. It's also not only allowed me to be closer to the members at Stairway to Recovery, it's helped me in my home. It's given me a whole new perspective on open-mindedness.
I have a network today, and that's a lot of it has to do with the recovery center. And I tried to do it alone for a long time, and you know what I mean? So the whole doing it with other people, like at the recovery center and stuff like that, allowing people to encourage me too, and it's just making the whole world of a difference for me.
Being in recovery for a long time, my friends are all in recovery for the most part. And coming here is a good way for me to interact with others who are doing the same thing I'm doing. The word on the street when we were coming here was that we were a methadone clinic, that we were going to be drug addicts hanging outside, and it has been nothing like that. I mean, we've had members caroling at the senior center. We've adopted a space to better the community.
If you are in recovery and you need a place safe to be, it's not only step works, it's more. Programs like this throughout the state. Try to give yourself a chance.
I have a lot of aptitude as a person. I'm somewhat confident, but I have never felt like I had a full life before I came to the Recover Project.
My lived experience is hugely valuable here. I would say that it's more valuable than my administrative skills. I understand what it was like to not even have a GED, to not have a college education, to be a single parent, to be struggling with trying to figure out who I am, what do I want to do, what am I capable of. So I get it when someone comes in and they don't even know how to turn a computer on or build a resume, parent their children. So been there, done that, and that shared lived experience, that's another big part of what creates a safe atmosphere. People get brave. Do you know, all of a sudden they're chairing a community meeting, they're doing a fantastic job, and they never realized that they were good at speaking in groups, or that they were good at organizing and facilitating groups. They want to do it again, and then they would want to do it again, and it builds hope.
There's an intention to the way we present ourselves to the greater community. Here we are, and here's who we are, and we're going to keep our sidewalk clean, and we'll sweep your sidewalk too. So we're not just those drunks and those addicts on the corner. We're a community of people who have something of value to offer to our community.